go into. LeBron, last week, David Blatt was unceremoniously dismissed as head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers in just his second year. He was currently the coach of the Eastern leading Cavaliers. David Griffin came out and announced that, a deal. He was dismissed of his duties. Tyronn Lue was promoted, given a new deal, I think a 3-year deal or something.
3 years, we'll say $9 million.
Yeah,
it's
$9
like
million, some change or something. But what's your thoughts on this, man? Is he a coach killer?
And so let's just clarify. The report first came out that he wanted Eric Spoelstra fired while he was in Miami. And
was that to return?
Yeah.
Before leaving?
That was his give me, that was his I need this. Now, Pat Riley has since come out and refuted all of that. But I mean, I think that some of that is just handshake, wink, wink type stuff. Like, I don't know why people seem to feel that these players, superstars, would not want to have a say in who's coaching them. To me, why would you not? And from a front office side, why would you not consult with those players, particularly in situations like LeBron's first go round in Cleveland, when everybody's like, is he going to leave? Is he not? Before the decision, why would you not ask him, like, oh, well, how do you feel about Mike Brown? Like, yes, he's gotten us to a final and multiple semi-conference playoff losses, but why would you not ask that question? And so I believe it. I completely believe it. And to watch the demonstrative way that he conducted himself with Blatt, even on the field, or even on the court, something I hadn't even noticed that I caught on a replay. On one of Blatt's last games, LeBron sat in the coach's chair. He sat in his chair. And I had never seen anything like that before. Like, that's just blatant disrespect.
Once he came off the court?
Yeah, like, Blatt had got up and was, like, walking down the
working the referees and calling plays.
And sat down right in his chair.
See, that's kind of the same thing we saw with him bumping into the big bump that he had in Miami with Spo.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn here because on one hand, Blatt came in before LeBron announced he was coming back.
Correct.
So that was kind of doomed anyway. But Mike Brown, in my opinion, while he came from the right coaching tree, it was a first time situation at head coach. I honestly, at this point, I kind of wonder why Coach Drew isn't an NBA coach or just on the staff.
On a staff somewhere.
On a staff that he's been on, just to have it, to be something.
But I mean, like, Mike Brown, like, 50 and 32, 45-37, still got him second in the Central, 66 and 16 the year that they lost in the conference finals.
66 wins.
61 and 21 in 09-010, the last year he was there. 61 and 21.
But let's look at this though. Mike Brown hasn't had a job since.
But see, and I feel like a lot of that is circumstance. All right, so you get canned in Cleveland. All right, then you go to a completely demolished Lakers team. You still go 41 and 25 with those Lakers who had notably said, "Hey, look, we're clearing the books. We're going to try to make a run at LeBron and Melo and all these guys. We're going to suck this year." That's basically what they told everybody. And he goes and does a respectable job. Gets them to the conference semifinals.
Damn.
And then next year, 5-1, fired. You start out 5-1 and you get fired. Then you go to Cleveland, who is like, you know what, we probably messed up somewhere along that line. But again, now they got nobody. 33 and 49. You know what? We think we want to try to get LeBron back. Fired.
I guess for my answer here, I have moved on to the brass knuckles from the hard hitting American pale ale.
That's 4-string in Columbus.
4-string.
Shout out to 4-string. Those guys are real cool.
Gotcha. So that's what I'm sipping on. I'm actually leading.
You about a half ahead of me. Yeah,
I'm leading G in scoring right now, going into this fourth quarter, the closing minutes of this fourth quarter. I guess my only answer to this question is, how does Tyronn Lue actually get a different look here in Cleveland? Are we going to see anything different other than maybe him challenging LeBron differently? Because for right now, man, for LeBron, I'm not even sure if he's having a great season right now in terms of his player efficiency, shooting below 25% from three-point range. That's a glaring issue for me.
Yep.
Can the team look differently this year? They're probably going to get through the Eastern Conference. Being that it's the nature of the playoffs, I mean, being him, he probably can win 2 games and push it to a 5 or 6 game series. But can this team look any different, man? Because I cannot watch LeBron James basketball. I sit and look at, and the Pistons lost to Cleveland Friday night.
Yeah.
I cannot sit and watch Cleveland, the offense, as it currently stands. I just can't watch that product.
Now, all right, so let me ask you this. As it stands, which is something that Tyronn Lue has talked about, like he wants, his whole thing is he wants them to run. He wants the team to get up and down. And he feels that Kevin Love cannot do that. And so he wants Kevin Love to come in with the second unit. So he'll start the game, he'll pull him somewhere midway through the first, earlier than the other guys, and then he comes back with the second unit. And he wants to feature him on the block, he wants to get him back in the post, and he wants everything to run through Kevin with the second unit. Do you think Kevin Love is okay with essentially being told you're going to come off the bench? And do you think that they need to trade him?
I responded to a guy on my GoingFor2.com article about trading Kevin Love.
Right. I saw you because you felt like they should stand pat with everything.
Right. That was pre the firing. Right. I didn't think they had the chutzpah to pull off, firing an Eastern Conference leading coach coming off of a championship, a finals visit. I didn't think that was even possible. But I give David Griffin, and I really believe Griffin in his statements about what led up to that decision. But to get into your question, if he wants to be a winner, I think he has to take some coaching and go along with this program to make it work for right now. I don't really feel like, as long as I've been watching the game, I don't think you can move a piece like Kevin Love in the middle of the season and bring in, because Kevin Love for Boogie Cousins, I don't see that working. Because LeBron would have to, even Tyronn Lue doing it as opposed to David Blatt, who manages that transition and makes it feasible for this year? That just seems too big of a transition for in season. I think that's a reasonable, I know it's a little unconventional for the NBA, but I think that's a reasonable expectation. If, look, we meet in here like grown men and we say, look, this is the thing, this is the way we think we can map it out for us to be successful in June, is to do this, work with me. If it doesn't work, I can try to get you out of here in the off season. He's not having his 25, 26, and 15 numbers right now, but I think he is having his best year in Cleveland. Well, it's only been a year, but he's having those slightly better numbers. Can we get you up to 17, 19 a game and turn some things around? And like I said, I think that's a reasonable compromise for a couple of months to take a look at what Tyronn is trying to do. Does it work? Cleveland needs a spot up shooter, so, you know.
So one of the I don't even want to know if it's a rumor as much as just a talking point,
conjecture.
Yeah, so it was said that Kevin Love was really close to signing in Boston. That was another place that he was willing to go.
Right.
Could you see some kind of a trade where Kevin Love goes to Boston, Cleveland gets back Jay Crowder, a handful of draft picks, another player to be determined, and then LeBron plays the 4, Jay Crowder, and some people consider him an all-star snub this year, guy that can spot up, hit corner threes, really good defensive player, good slasher, good fundamentals, somebody that's a 4th option on a team, like a really good, just above a glue guy. Could you see something like that happen?
And that's a trade this year.
Yeah.
Nah. And I'm just saying, I really feel like Cleveland can only do what it can this year to still come in second at the end of the day, because the offenses in San Antonio and the systems that are in place in Golden State and San Antonio are just better. The pieces are better. The teams are constituted better.
Agreed.
It's nothing that can be fixed this year. The only thing, and I'm seeing it now, the one thing that I've credited with LeBron as we get ready to shut this down here, the one thing that I've credited LeBron, his motor at 6'8", 6'9", his motor is one of the best motors that I've ever seen on somebody of that size. And him, from rim to rim, has just been unparalleled in the last 10 years. And I really feel like at this point in time, he doesn't have that same motor right now. And I don't know if it's from all the extra minutes. He has 10,000 minutes. I had that in an earlier article. But he has thousands of minutes more than everybody that came in his class. And I just don't know if he can't do it right now.
That was something else that is said to be one of the reasons that they let Black go was, his quote was, "They're athletes, right? We don't rest guys."
But have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Kobe story. And I mean, LeBron, I agree with you that when engaged, he plays hurt. He plays 120 miles per hour. But when he is disconnected, when he has already assumed the outcome, right, I think he shuts it all the way down. And look, it's just something he's never going to get away from. That last series against Boston, those last 2 games, most of that series, but those last 2 games, he might as well have been a role player.
Yeah. And
there's a meme of it now, when Steph stole the ball from him a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
that was more than he was giving against that Boston game. When he got the ball, he turned the ball over, he just stood there.
So before we shut this out, we got about 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. I presume that the Cavaliers come up short this year. To me, it's a matter of mathematics. They don't have. I mean, they could maybe beat San Antonio because that's a different nucleus with Parker.
It's a new
Ginobili and Duncan.
They've got a lot of new, and it's not even they have a lot of new pieces. Just that you got LaMarcus Aldridge and David West that you have to somehow fit into that. Your team is now going through Kawhi Leonard as opposed to Tony Parker or Tim Duncan, so it's a bit different.
Because the Tony Parker that was leading the league and scoring in the paint, he's not that guy nowadays. So I'm just saying, Cleveland could fare better against the Spurs. if LeBron could replicate what he did last year in the finals, that same effort, almost averaging a triple double, who knows?